Hey guys, funny story. I was just about to put all this stuff up and I almost forgot to do the main video for the reason I had all this stuff out. And what the point is that, I talk about different subs and what's good and what's, really I prefer to talk about what's good. And what I've done here is I've borrowed some subs. SVS sent out some subs. I have my own sub. And I've really kind of, I doubt myself a lot. I really do. I think, am I off here? Am I not, am I not paying attention? Am I just missing the mark? And so what I did, I've been listening to these SVS subs for quite a while now. I really like them. They're very good. They're kind of the minimum of what I'd recommend. But I wanted to listen to others. I wanted to kind of go backwards and see, am I really being honest here? Is the performance really that much of a difference? And so, I've got some of these smaller subs. This came with the TV. This is a little sub unit for a sound bar. Of course, that's crap. This one I got with my, I actually bought them off Craigslist, and the guy's like, well, the sub comes with it. I'm like, sure. And it was way better than what I had before at that point, but it was long before I got that. And then, this one is a sub my brother had, and this is on loan from a friend that also loaned out the Paradigm Towers. And so I listened to all of them as much as I could listen. Hi, Bear. Bear says hi. Anyway, in listening to all of them, it really validated everything I'm saying. It really did. I was worried because, this sub back here, this one here next, this is the PB1000, and that's a Velodyne CT100. Now, that's not Velodyne's top of the line, and the reason I'll mention Velodyne by name is because they do make subs that would fit within within my website's kind of rules. They do make subs that go lower. I haven't heard them, so I don't know. I can't speak with ultimate authority on them, so that's why I've kind of left them off the list. But they're definitely not a dead player. But that particular sub, that's rated down for like 28 Hertz, okay, which isn't bad in the normal realm of normal speakers that are available. But in terms of what I'm talking about, and in terms of what, when you put content up, when you play stuff and you hear everything, you really do require the subs I'm talking about. Because what I did was that was the best performing sub of this little group of kind of not good enough group. I hate to bash brands, but they just weren't good enough. And when I played that Velodyne, it was the most impressive of the more commonly available group. And by the way, that sub at the time was not inexpensive. I think it was $400 or $500 at the time. So in the same price range as the PB1000, but not in the same league, if that makes sense. And what I did was I played some content that I'm real familiar with, and it was, because I went through and I listened to the test tones, the sweeps, and I got a little nervous with the Velodyne because I'm like, uh-oh, because it actually did go lower, but it wasn't, it wasn't authoritative, but it did go lower. I'm thinking, okay. And what happened was when I played the content, the music, E40 Be Legit, Machine Gun Kelly, all those guys. Whether you like that music or not, it is a great determining factor on whether you've got good subs or not. Because if your sub can't handle that kind of stuff, it's not a proper sub, at least in my view. And what I found was, you got the beats and the low tones, and when I got to the lowest tones, it just disappeared. Just gone, vanishing act. It's like it never existed. And so with this content that I put up on my YouTube channel and on Spotify, a lot of it, if you don't have the good subs, you're not going to be able to hear what you're missing, right? If I were to have dual Velodynes, like the dual CT100s, and I had those set up, Cosmos would sound pretty good, but it wouldn't sound nearly as good as what it sounds with the PBs or the, you know, the VTF-15s in a dual setup. Oh my gosh. You know, it sounds so much better. It's such a different experience. You know, the subs never sound stressed or anything like that. It sounds proper. And so, you know, really, I mean, it really validated what I'm doing here. Giving a chance to hear everything in the same setup. And also, you know, when you run room EQ, it kind of makes adjustments. And I accounted for that too. I turned the room EQ off to where it's just, you know, just direct. And, you know, side by side, huge difference. Huge difference. And so that was the point of having all these out. I've included them in a bunch of other videos for almost no reason. I had to use the creeper to get the VTF-15 out of its storage place because I'm by myself at the moment. I didn't have anybody to help me. It's a big sub. But, you know, I listened to everything, and it really validated what I'm saying. You know, and of course, you know, you guys kind of have to take my word for it or go do it yourself to find out what I'm saying is right. But it really made a big difference. And so, you know, I doubt myself a lot. I question myself a lot. I question whether I'm saying the right things, whether what I'm doing is accurate, whether, you know, like my concern is the guys on, you know, forums like AVS Forum and stuff like that, if they're going to look at my videos like, oh, this dude does not know what he's talking about. That's my big concern, you know, because if anybody's going to judge you, it's going to be the guys from there, and, you know, it's a, you know, it's a concern. But really listening to all those different ones, it made a big difference. And, you know, the subs that I list on the site as being good quality, of course there are others. You know, of course there are others that do as well or better in some cases. Sometimes for a lot more money, but usually not for less. Usually you're not going to get that kind of performance for less money. It really is expensive to produce something that does so well. But I really went through and I beat myself up on it, and having everything to listen to and just kind of go through, you know, and go back in time and go back to the days when I was just really irritated with my bass performance. One of the reasons I started this whole thing was because I, like many other people out there, man, you play this content, and be it movie or music, and it just doesn't impress. And, you know, you don't, I mean, you're not going to go out and spend $500 on a sub purposely to get something lackluster. No one would do that. You know, I had one viewer say, oh, people like buying crap. I don't agree. I really don't agree. I don't think anybody goes out and buys something and says, yeah, I know this one's over there. It's a lot better for the same money, but I'm going to buy the crap. No one's going to make that decision. It's just a matter of knowledge. It's a matter of knowing what's out there and knowing what's good. You know, once you know what's good, you're going to keep going with what's good. That's human nature. So I did all that, and it just, like I said, it validated, and I was, you know, I felt better about this whole process, about what I'm doing, about the things I'm talking about, because, you know, this stuff, it does, I am, you know, I'm talking about stuff, and I've got guys that have been in the business of doing professional audio for concerts, telling me I'm wrong, telling me I don't know what I'm talking about. And I listen to that, you know, maybe he's right, you know. And of course, you know, you're not going to replace a commercial setup with a PB1000 for a concert. I mean, come on, you know, of course that's not going to happen. You're not going to get 140 decibels out of something like that, okay? But in terms of what you want in your home, oh man, believe me, you want something that goes down to 20 Hertz. You'll be so amazed at what you've been missing. So anyway, I do take, you know, criticism like that seriously, because there are people who have had a lot more experience and been through a lot more, listened to way more subwoofers than I have. People with sound engineering degrees and stuff like that, who still aren't aware of the better stuff that's out there. And so I've been taking it seriously, and I've really been making sure that I'm not just out there blowing smoke. And doing this setup, you know, it helped. Now, of course, there are other brands out there that make subs that are just as good as what's on the list. And I am absolutely welcome and open to talk to them and, you know, listen to them and all that stuff. I'm real happy to do that. And Bear's happy to listen too. And again, if you haven't heard me say it in previous videos, I don't listen at levels that would hurt their ears. I like my own ears too. And so, you know, that's a whole other subject. But anyway, guys, went through it, went back in time, and it validated everything. It really did. The difference between this sub here, the PB1000, and all these others, there is, I mean, completely different league, completely different realm. Don't even compare, really. I mean, they both produce 50 Hertz, about the same. Okay, that's no problem. Almost any sub can do that. I say almost because that didn't do it. That was really weak sauce. But it's really what makes a good sub is what happens under 30 Hertz, and is it balanced with what happens above. And SVS is really good with that. They really do a good job with getting even sound throughout the subwoofer frequency, which is 20 to 100 Hertz. You can get subs that go lower, and I fully encourage get subs that go as low as possible while still maintaining a flat curve. You know, Database is a great website. I don't know, hopefully he doesn't think my whole thing here is a joke, but I respect that website a lot. I respect what they're doing. And you can overlay subs of different makers that he's listened to, that he's measured. I mean, way more involved than I am. I mean, when it comes to authority, that guy's, I mean, they've got it over me so much better. In terms of an opinion about something, I'd go with their opinion over mine, really. Much more knowledgeable. But you can compare stuff on that site. You can see how subs do compared to each other. I did that a lot. I compared the VTF 15 to the SVS NSD12, you know, and I mean, it was very informative, and laying it over and then checking all the graphs. It's a good site. But, you know, again, doing all this just really kind of validated the stuff I've been saying. So anyway, guys, man, these short videos I mean to make end up going into 15 minutes. Sorry about that. I appreciate you sticking it out, and thanks for watching.